Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the new year already. Wow. Hi friends, welcome back. I can't believe the new year is already here. As I'm filming this, it is the 29th? No, it's the 30th. So, New Year's Eve, I thought I would just come on here and talk about some of my goals. Well, not really goals, but intentions for 2026. So, let's get into it. Usually I don't necessarily do resolutions. I do write goals, but I haven't written them yet. But I thought I would share some of the ideas that I have that I want to try to attempt to do for the next year. So I have about 4 categories, but they are, honestly, they're interconnected. But the overall theme for the year is probably going to be doing things that scare me, or just doing it scared. And if you're watching this, I guess I got the courage to do one of my things scared, which is starting a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, hi, I'm Vandy. Nice to meet you. But I just want to do things scared. I feel like in the past, I've let fear hold me back. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I've let perfectionism hold me back. I let fear hold me back. I let negative questions like, what if it doesn't go well? What if people don't watch? What if my editing skills aren't the greatest? Like, I let those questions really hold me back instead of asking the questions of, what if it goes well? What if the channel takes off? What if I create a solid community online? So I'm just gonna go for it. So I want to challenge myself to gain the courage to do things that scare me. On to my next set of goals. It's the bookish category, of course. I love me some books. Usually I don't necessarily have a numerical goal when it comes to reading a certain amount of books of the year. I kind of just go with the flow and see how much I end up reading. But I do want to read more nonfiction. I'm trying to hopefully attempt to read 1 nonfiction a month. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. But when it comes to nonfiction, I really take my time. To put it nicely, I'm really slow at reading nonfiction. There's just something about it. But it's really interesting, some of the topics that I am trying to get into. But I want to read more nonfiction this year. Another thing that I really want to implement is going to the library more often. I live right across the street from a library, and it's shameful how I haven't been going to the library. Like, yes, I go to the library to pick up books, but it's more like an in and out situation. I don't necessarily stay at the library every time that I go. So I want to try to incorporate that more next year. There's a lot of things that I could do at the library. I could edit, I can read, I could just hang out and enjoy the cozy environment that the library has. So hopefully I can just spend like an hour, a couple hours there throughout the week. So we'll see. That's one of my goals that I hope that I can implement. last thing in my bookish category would be working on my book journal a little bit more throughout the year. I keep on saying that I would do more collages in my book journal, and I haven't gotten to that yet. So maybe I can work on that throughout the years and fill up more of my book journal and go back through the years and find aesthetics and make collages of the books that really stood out to me throughout the years. So I want to do that, and maybe I can also bring you along with me as I do them as well. I would say the next category is very popular on Instagram and TikTok and social media, and that is having a personal curriculum. I would definitely do something a little bit different than like doing a semester or a whole year type of thing, but I definitely want to really engage with the topics that I'm interested in, kind of do my own curation of a personal curriculum in that. So I guess I can share some of my subject matters of my personal curriculums for next year, or that I'm interested in. One of them is language learning. I'm currently learning French, and hopefully this year I can actually finish learning French on Duolingo. And I really want to prep myself for learning my next language, which is Korean. So hopefully I can prep myself into learning Korean and studying the culture and learning more about the next coming language that I'm hopefully trying to reach. Hopefully I can start Korean by the end of next year, but honestly I doubt it. So that's why I'm trying to prep myself for it, because at least I want to incorporate something of the Korean language within this year. Ooh. Another thing that I would love to learn more is cooking. I'm not really that great with cooking. Like, yeah, I can cook some dishes, but I feel like I tend to struggle with like whole meals or like whole recipes. So I would love to learn more recipes and gather recipes and have my own stack of collections of the recipes that I really enjoy. I feel like one of the things that I can probably do is go to the library and get a cookbook and see which meals and cookbooks that really stand out to me that I could try to attempt to do one new recipe a week or something like that. And I feel like that would help with like meal planning and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I think I want to try to do one new recipe a week and curate my own recipe book filled with the new recipes that I've learned or something like that. I feel like another thing is like financial growth. I feel like I'm somewhat literate, but I feel like there's a lot to learn financially that I could benefit from. I feel like when it comes to finances, I can always learn something new, and I can always ask a friend on their experiences as well. So I would love to reach some of my financial goals as well. Hopefully that will happen, but we'll have to see. Ooh, the next category I feel like I want to implement into the new year is finding myself and finding my style. And as I sit here in a sweatshirt and pajama pants and my hair in a bun, it doesn't make really sense, but I'm at home. But I do want to find my style a little bit more. I feel like I want to be more put together in a way. So like whenever I leave the house, I would love to be more put together. I feel like I have inspiration on my Pinterest board on the outfits that I do want to somewhat recreate or take inspiration from. There's not really a set aesthetic that I go for. I change my style day by day depending on how I feel. Sometimes it's more classic, sometimes it's more streetwear, sometimes it's just, I guess, granola is the word. It is what it is. I just want to be more put together and have more of a capsule wardrobe, I guess. I just want to make things make sense and be more put together. I also want to find myself in, like, do some inner work, which is like finding more confidence, being more adventurous, I guess, with myself, and just go out there a little bit, even though it just seems a little bit more scary in a way. It just makes me a little bit nervous. But in order to find myself and in order to do the scary things, you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. Or you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I guess I just have to go for it. And maybe I can discover myself a little bit more through YouTube and documenting myself and seeing the growth that I've made from like the first video that I've posted and made to hopefully in the future I am a better filmmaker, better editor and stuff like that, and see how much that I've grown. That would be very interesting to see. So hopefully I can find myself a little bit in that aspect as well. So I would say finding myself is definitely going to be an adventure, but an adventure that I am somewhat excited to look back on. But last but not least, I would say the last category would be to create more than I consume. I feel like I am definitely consuming a lot of media, a lot of social media, and I feel like consuming all of that has led me to comparing myself to others and really just putting myself in a hole that I feel like I can't really claw myself out of. And that is putting a damper on creativity. So I do want to be more creative, and I've seen a lot of people, their goals for 2026 is to be more analog. So I probably won't technically be analog because I'm doing social media, but I'm doing long form social media. But I guess in my own way, I want to be a little bit more analog and just create more than I consume. So maybe create more YouTube videos, maybe lessen my screen time, do puzzles, read more books, of course, go outside, touch some grass for a little bit. Ooh, speaking of touching grass, another goal that just popped into my mind is that I need to get outside. I have a tendency to stay indoors all day, and maybe I can just go outside for 30 minutes a day, soak up some sun, touch some grass, consume less, and just enjoy nature, breathe some air. That seems like fun. But yeah, definitely be a little bit more analog rather than being consumed by media, because I feel like it leads me to comparing myself to others and I guess making me feel a little bit less confident in myself, but we are building our confidence for 2026, and we are going to create more, and I am going to have a more positive mindset. Hopefully. It's very slow. I'm not gonna be like, oh, positive all the time or stuff like that. Like, I want to be more positive than negative. So hopefully I'll be able to do that next year. But I would say that's all the ideas that I have for right now. I still haven't made my list. I'll probably make that later on today or maybe on January 1st. But that's all the ideas that I have, or the ideas that I want to implement into next year. I feel like I'm the person that I enjoy moving in silence, so I probably won't share the details of my goals list, but maybe I can tell you guys as I accomplish them. So I feel like I'll tell you guys as I accomplish them, because I feel like sometimes staying silent is the best way to go. But if I do want to share, like in my private life, I do have 2 people that I have in mind. So are you guys the same way? Do you like moving in silence, or do you like sharing your like goals and stuff with other people? Because I feel like I tend to move in silence, but I like to share more broader ideas out there. That's very interesting. But I would love to know your thoughts. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your goals and intentions are for the new year, and definitely let me know if we have any similar goals or intentions. I feel like the new year is definitely going to be something, and I hope that the new year starts off well. I know sometimes the new year's can be a little bit difficult for some, especially like reflecting over the next year, and over the last year, it can be hard going into the new year. So, but I hope you all have a wonderful new year. Stay safe. But until next time, my friends, stay curious, stay cozy, stay reading. Bye, guys.